Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Your brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp here in Trinidad with another edification through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So first and foremost, Kal Halayam La Alahayanawa Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Maka Kodash Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahweh Shai Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahweh Shai Barakata Yahweh Barakata Yahweh Shai. I double honors unto the apostles, the bishops, the elders, the great stone as well. Salutation unto the brothers who preaching and teaching the truth from the four corners of the earth. Risking their lives and their freedom to do so no more than ever. Shalom unto the spot of the Israelites. And shalom unto the very few but faithful Aquat, which is his sisters, are listening and learning. Hey, there ain't no better days ahead for this Trinidad and Tobago, alright? There ain't no better days coming. Alright, there ain't no better days coming. It is what it is here. Alright. Your beloved Prime Minister could talk she could talk a good game. She could talk a good game, you know, where you 2/3 will swallow it, hook, line, and sinker. This truth here, we know for a fact there ain't no better days. There ain't no better days ahead for TNT. Alright. Sunday gone, that's Sunday gone there. So on the front page of the Trinidad and Tobago Express, you know, a matter of fact, you know what, let me get it. Alright. As you can see here, this is from the Sunday's Express, the 26th, April the 26th, 2026. Alright, where it says, better days are ahead, just hold on. Alright, as you can see here, alright, there's like, this is maybe some function that they had, you know, pursuant to the 1-year anniversary of coming into office and whatnot, so forth. As you can read, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has urged citizens to hold strain, assuring that better days are ahead under the United National Congress government. Persad-Bissessar accounted to the people for her government's first year in office at the party's Congress meeting in Cuba yesterday, where she also promised that more jobs are on the way. Okay. Alright, dressed in the party's signature yellow, she walked through a thick crowd greeting people, which she estimated at between 17,000 and 20,000 people. And I'm sure that there were a whole lot of jakes, a whole lot of you so-called Negroes, you know, within the midst of that crowd there. Alright, people citing police figures as she make her way to the stage. Despite heavy rainfall during her address, supporters remain standing as she reaffirmed her commitment and devotion. Persad-Bissessar began by reminding supporters they will never be forgotten, referencing what she described as a decade of neglect under the former People's National Movement. Right? And I don't know the rest going on. There is a lot of political propaganda, whatnot, so forth. I ain't going to all of that. Alright, so yeah. So this is the point where we get to that, alright? That she's assuring, you know, and promising better days ahead. Alright. Better days ahead. And there ain't no better days ahead. Not when you have the eyesight to actually see what is taking place in this world. Alright? To actually see what is taking place, you know, economical wise and what have you, so forth. You know, the whole social landscape of the people, you know, it's just gonna get more and more worse from here, alright? If you think or you want to believe what she is saying, you know, you want to stand by her, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, you Negroes, you so-called Negroes, you Caribs and Arawaks here that is in the country, so-called, and you all want to believe on what she says, well, alright, no problem. That's on you. Alright? That's on you. Every man to their own order at the ending of it all, but we only know, alright, as pursuant to this truth and what this word entails, alright, for the last days, these last days that we're living in here, it's not going to have no better days. Alright? That's why scripture that I want to get, scripture that I want to start off with will be Jeremiah 17 and 5. Jeremiah 17 and 5, where it says, thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusted in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord. Alright, and this is the thing here, right? Because a lot of you jakes, there's a lot of you jakes that believe that better days are ahead. Where this woman is concerned. Alright, this woman who's putting all her cards in one basket pursuant to Donald Trump, who's taking all her orders from Donald Trump, the man who is sinking his own people, sinking his own country as we speak. Alright? You all really put in trust in this. So that if this man who is sinking his own country, and this woman is in full support of this man, alright, things just deteriorating more for the worse in America, and this woman is giving this man her full support. What do you think? What do you really think it have in store for Trinidad and Tobago? What do you think will be the outcome of Trinidad and Tobago? Alright? But again, you jakes put full support in this woman. Alright? Hook, line, and sinker. Alright? Just like how over in Babylon, you had niggers for Trump. Well, right, over here it had niggers for Kamala. Alright? That's why it says what? It's Jeremiah 17 and 5. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord. Alright, this is where it is, because you jakes, your heart departed from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Alright? You jakes departed, your heart, your mind departed from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and what? You put your trust in a heathen. Alright? You put your trust in a heathen. As it says, for he shall be like the heat in the desert. Alright? In the desert. Alright? A dry and barren place. This is where you always be. This is where you all at right now. A dry and barren place. And you always going to be left there. Alright? And shall not see when good cometh. Alright? Where is that good? This word that is being pushed out through the four corners of the earth right now. Alright? Where it is liberty for it to be pushed out. Alright? There's where it is. But shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, and a salt land are not inhabited. This is what you all choose. This is what is at your disposal here right now, if you want to put it that way. Alright? Because the scripture, not the scripture, what I want to say, my mind just think a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I should say the scripture. Yeah, it is, the Lord have promises for you. Promises that could never be matched with anything in this world. Or I should say promises that nothing in this world could match with the promises that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has for us. Alright. But Jake, alright, as Big Brother and the God they say, Jake just wants a quick fix in every judgment thing, alright? So they would rather put their trust in man. You know, they would rather put their trust in the heathen. Not even their own people, but trust in the heathen. Alright, it says, blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope is the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. For he shall be as the tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but what? But her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought. In the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. All right, neither shall cease in yielding fruit. So there's what it is here. All right, because there's a time that is about to hit, that is coming. All right, where there's going to be great distress upon the face of the earth. And you, Jakes, is going to be left in it because why? You put your trust in man. Alright, that is why the scripture say, Isaiah, let me see if I can get that. 30 and 1, where it reads, Isaiah 30 and 1, woe to the rebellious children, say the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, that cover it with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. Yeah, to walk, to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. All right, they trust in oppression, man. Okay, they trust in oppression. This is what 2/3 of our people is all about. All right, they trust in oppression. You know, the heathen can do them what? They will overlook that and still put their faith and trust in them. Alright? It says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Yeah. Because a lot of you all will fall for it. You know, better days are ahead. You know, just hold strain. You know, this is my promises. I'm going to keep my promises. A lot of you all fall for that nonsense. Alright, and a lot of you all is going to stand with it. Alright? But the day is coming where, you know, that provision that you so look forward to from the heathen, from your enemy, is not going to come. It's never going to materialize. Alright? And you see, the thing is, you know, it all goes with you all and not having faith. Because you all about what they could see now, you know, what they could touch, what they could hold now. You know, you all about now, you know. That is why the scripture say, let me see if I can get that. Let me see if I can get that. I know I think it's in Corinthians, but alright. 2 Corinthians 5 and 7. Let's take a look at that. Alright, there are reasons why I'm bringing that out. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 7. Alright, it reads 2 Corinthians 5 and 7, where it reads, for we walk by faith and not by sight. You know, and this is the difference between the hope for the elect and those, you know, that is not a part of the hope for the elect. Alright, they're all about now. Alright, they're all about, you know, what they could gain. Alright, that's the reason why they will look forward to the better, they will look forward to the promises, Salakia. They will look forward to the promises, you know, of what, you know, the system fooled them with, so to speak, right? The empty promises, you know, the deceit, that they have been deceived by the system. Yeah? They know better nowadays. Alright. Alright. There's only woe. Alright? When I go to Ezekiel 7 and 1. Ezekiel 7 and 1, where it reads, Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Also, thou son of man, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai unto the land of Israel, the end is come upon the four corners of the land. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will what? And I will send mine anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and I will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. And mine eyes shall not spare thee, neither will have pity, but I will recompense thy ways and upon thee, and thine abomination shall be in the midst of thee, and you shall know that I am the Lord. Alright? Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai, and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. And end is come, the end is come, it watcheth for thee, behold, it is come. Alright? This is the spirit that you ought to be in. This is the mindset that you ought to be in. Not looking out for no false friggin' promises from a heathen. From a heathen that really and truly is all about your downfall. Right now, you all just being gassed up. You all are just being gassed up. Alright? You see what she did? Let me see if I could get that. Let me see if I could get that. What it is, boy? How the thing that. Bus tickets and pension to go what put it right? DIGI digital in Trinidad and Tobago. Yep. Alright. So let's take a look at this here. Now, you all will watch this as something simple, alright? But this is nothing simple. Alright. Let me see this thing. How doesn't like what this thing here. Alright, it's as you can see there, bus tickets and pension payments set to go digital. Alright, let me see if it have anything to read here. Minister of Planning, Economic Affairs and Development, Dr. Kennedy Swarat Singh. Yeah, fucking Elam. Elam. Alright, left with National Payment, alright, an innovation company of Trinidad and Tobago. Chairman Dr. The person had left. Alright. Right. Chairman Dr. Nigel Fulchan or something like that, during the unveiling of the Nobis system, alright, and Citizen AI at the NPICTT office toward the International Waterfront Center. Alright, good. There's it. Bus tickets and pensions grants in Trinidad and Tobago are set to go digital. Alright, as the government moves to modernize public service and eliminate paper-based systems. Alright, there's where it is. And trust me, this here, this is a promise that they're going to keep. This is a promise that they're surely going to keep. Best believe that. Alright, especially pursuant to your pension. You pensioners, especially pursuant to your pension. Yeah, they're surely going to keep that promise. Alright, best believe that. It says your bus ticket will now be available online and your pension grant will be delivered electronically. Alright, signaling the end of an era defined by paper receipts, long transit queues, and the uncertainty of mailed checks. Alright, so there's the trap the leader here with here. There's the trap the leader here into here. Alright. A lot of you all is going to accept it, a lot of you all is going to be in favor of it, alright, because convenience. Alright? Convenience. This is where it is. Alright? And this is where you all is going to get caught. It says, in a major step towards a more connected future, alright, that connection into what? Into that one world system, that one world order system. Alright, the government is replacing outdated manual systems with a streamlined digital framework. Alright, the announcement was made on Thursday by Dion Williams, manager of digital payments at the National Payment and Innovation Company of Trinidad and Tobago, as the entity unveiled technological upgrades aimed at transforming access to public transportation and social services. Alright, there's where it is. Alright, there's where it is. This is a promise that they're surely going to keep. Alright? Because this is what? A trap. In order for what? In order for you to comply and conform and comply. Alright, when they're ready to rule out the MOTB system. Alright? This is where it is here. This is where it is here. This is why when I go to the script, I'm going to go back to the script here. Alright? Which is Lamentations 4 and 17. Yeah, this is for you. This is for you two-third niggas, man. Lamentations 4 and 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed. For our vain hope, our vain help, Salakia. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. Alright? This is what it is. We looking forward to the heathen, alright, to the heathen to bring forth prosperity towards us, for us and whatnot, so forth. When really and truly is false hope and despair. Alright? Because a lot of you all settling your lease and you all just want to continue in this wicked place, man. You all settling yourself as being Trinidadians. Alright, call yourself Trinidadians, and you all good with that and what have you, so forth, and you all want to see the betterment of Trinidad and Tobago, and this place is about to go down. Alright? When this place is about to go down, and this is what you hopefully like want to see, this place to go down. Because, hey, why? Hebrews 13 and I think it's 14. Yep, Hebrews 13:14. For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come. All right, and this is why that again with this with the scripture that I had read, which I'll go back to it. Which is 2 Corinthians 5 and 7. Alright, 2 Corinthians 5 and 7, where it reads, for we walk by faith and not by sight. Alright? Because this place here is about to go down, and we seeing it, and we know that, as the scripture says, let me see if I can get that. I go to, yep, that's it. John 14 and 3, I'll go to the blue letter because that is Yahushua speaking. Alright, John chapter 14 and verse 3. I'll start at verse 1, a matter of fact. I'll start at verse 1. John 14 and 1, where it reads, Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in Yahweh, believe also in me. Alright? In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you, I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. Alright? The point I'm getting at, is that pursuant to the last two scriptures that I had read, here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come, which is what we are reading here. Alright? Which is what we are reading here right now. Now we haven't seen it as yet, physically, but with our faith, as the scripture says, we walk by faith and not by sight, but by faith, we will see it, But the ones on the left hand side, they cannot see the place that is being prepared. Right? That the place that is already prepared. The place that is already prepared, they cannot see it. So, seeing that they cannot see it, in a spiritual eye, in a spiritual eyesight, in a spiritual perspective of things, if you want to put it that way, they rather lean on a tangible, something that they could see right before their eyes, right now, right here, because they have no faith. So hence the reason, they will believe in the false promises. Alright, they will believe in the false promises that Kamla, profess to them and whatnot, so forth. And tell about just whole strain, yeah, you go ahead, whole strain. What should they go see? All that whole strain is going to break your judgment back. Alright, your back is going to be broken with all that strain that you're holding up. Alright? A lot of you all is going to get freaking hernia. Yeah? Going to get hernia with all that strain. Alright, that you're holding. Believing in this wicked devil, this Elamite. You understand? Bringing forth false promises towards you all. And hey, as it was estimated 17 to 20,000 people there at the function, wherever. I'm sure at least half of that was Jake. Yeah, half of that was Jake. Clapping and singing along and whatnot, so forth, and giving the full support, Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Alright, everybody was meant to get a shoot. Alright? Everybody was meant to get a shoot. As I scripture say, let the multitude perish that was born in vain. You understand? This is where it is here. Yeah? You understand? A lot of you all is going to fall for this. A lot of you all is going to fall in that trap, man. A lot of you Jakes is going to fall in that trap. You understand? Because why? You choose to trust the serpent. You choose to trust this freaking devil, man. This devil that is, that is lying in bed with the serpent. Alright? That is lying in bed with the serpent. As you skipped, let me see if I can get that. That is second, not second, what the hell do me? Sirach 12. Sirach 12. And I think 15 or 14. No. Actually 13. Alright. This is for you, Jake. You understand? This is for you, Jake. I'll go straight to the point. Sirach 12 and 13, where it reads, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, alright, or any as such as come nigh wild beasts? Question mark. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? Alright, so when you Jakes, when the clams start to come down on you Jakes, alright, pursuant to the MOTB and the whole digitalized system and social credit score system and all these things, alright, all these things that is coming, alright, and you see all your hopes and aspirations that you had for this place, it comes all crashing down. Who you expect to pity upon you? Alright? Who do you expect to show pity upon you? Alright? There's where it is. And you know what? As the scripture says, that is Ezekiel, and I think I will end off with that. Because you all don't want to hear. Here it is, we out here pushing this word. Alright? Pushing this word on a heavy basis. And you all don't want to hear. Ezekiel, I think it's 33 and 33. Alright, I will start from 31 actually. But the point is actually 33. Alright. Ezekiel 33:31, and they come unto thee as the people cometh. Alright, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they shew much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness. And you see that, when we go out on the highways and byways, it will have some, they go stop. They might they might listen to what we have to say, wherever, But then, they really ain't give the mind to it, as they got to say, they feel, they could go home and roll up a spliff and feel they could figure it out on their own and whatnot, so forth, And I thought those with a proud self, they will listen, they will hear whatever we had to say, whatever, just give a listen and hear, but really and truly, they're so proud. They feel they have it all figured out, and they just go after their covetousness. Alright? So it says, and lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument, for they hear thy words, but they do them not. And when this cometh to pass, which is what? The prophecies pursuant to the destruction, the doom. Alright, the doom, that day of doom. Alright? And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. Alright? Then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. Letting you all know, hey, it has no better days in this place. They could say what they want to say, it have no better days in this place. This place is about to fall. Alright, this system is coming to a crash. Alright, the Lord is about to bring judgment upon this world. Mass death is about to take place upon this world. Famine, disease, pestilence, war, you name it. You name it. Is about to come, but you all didn't what? You all didn't want to take heed. So what? Feel the judgment, feel the wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai, as the old saying is go here in amongst us people that's in the Caribbean here, who don't hear this feel. Yeah, who don't hear this, they go how to feel. Alright? So there's where it is here. Then they go know. That is the only time they will get already come to the understanding and all that. The madman, this is what the madman was speaking about. The madmen, this is what they were speaking about. Now these madmen, they're not so mad. They're not so mad anymore. Hey, it is what it is. You better Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp. Signing out. Saying Kal Halayam. La Alahaya Nawa. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. Ba'asham Rakah Kodash. Barakata Yahweh. Barakata Yahweh Shai. Barakata Yahweh. Barakata Yahweh Shai. Barakata Yahweh. Barakata Yahweh Shai. Alright, double honors unto the apostles, the bishops, the elders. A great man soon not rule well. Salutation unto the brothers. The preaching, teaching us truth through the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and the freedom to do so now more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled Israelites, and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwat. Brother Kahan signing out, saying shalom, shalom, shalom.